Yeah, here it is. Yes. Can you see the screen, all of you? Can you see the screen? Yes. Just raise your hand if you can. Payal, Daman. Okay, very nice. Very good. Thank you, Shivam. Okay, yeah, everyone can see Akriti is there. Oh, right. So here, what are we going to discuss today? We're going to do matrimonial advertisement. So matrimonial advertisement, it is also a kind of an advertisement which is there giving us information and the requirements. Okay. Now, matrimonial advertisements for the purpose of an alliance, for the purpose of matrimony. So it could be a bride wanted, it could be a groom wanted from either side. So when we are talking about a bride, so bride is the girl, yes. And so we want a bride whose qualities are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the boy. We're going to talk about the bride groom, right? So when you're talking about, yes, a groom wanted, all the title, it sounds very scary, it's like wanted, okay, right? Like, of course. So then we talk about the qualifications of the girl. Okay, now look here. Yes, do you remember the format of the advertisement? What is there in the advertisement? You have your heading first. Yes, right? We talk about the content part, and then there comes the contact. Now here, look, bride wanted. So who is writing this advertisement? Could be the parents of the boy, right? So they're going to give us a description of the qualifications of the family, of the job, right, of the boy in question. Okay, right? And here, just look at this one. So proposals are invited for a very charming, pleasing personality, sick boy, 165 centimeters, 25 years, MBA from Japan. So look, see here what has been described, the height and all, right? And of course, about his age, which is quite required, and about his qualifications. Son of a prosperous business family owning his own house in Mayur Vihar, right? So from daughters of reputed cultured business family. So this is here what they want. First is they have described the boy, right? About his qualifications, about his work, and then about his family. Then they're talking about what is it? What kind of alliance are they seeking? They're seeking from, yes, from business family. Okay, they've also given the area that they belong to. They've told about Mayur Vihar, Delhi. Okay, now kindly respond with full particulars to enable the parents to take an early decision. Send your, BHP to box number. Now here, when you talk about advertisements, it is very, very important here to maintain secrecy. Nowadays we have, of course, directly people are contacting and they share all the information. Emails are already shared, or you have on other sites which are there. But still, when it is there, we talk about a matrimonial advertisement, which is there in the newspaper. If you see a Saturday, Sunday newspaper, it has a special supplement with it, a special extra page, which has the matrimonial advertisements. Okay, have you ever gone through it on Saturday and Sunday? You should read, as I've told you, advertisements, your writing skills, they are all there in the newspaper. Now look here, box number. This is for the purpose of secrecy, right? To keep the information. So what does the newspaper do? What it does is that it gives a number, a box number, right? That this is here, they don't to that person, to that individual, they give this number. So all the responses which come for this particular advertisement, where will they go to? They will go to this box number. Okay, right? And at the end of 1 week or 2 week, when enough advertisements are there, they are sent to the person who had put the advertisement. Okay, right? So this is it here. So what is it? What is the format of an advertisement? You have the heading, you have the contact given over here, and you have these, like your content part. Now let's just see if we can see another one here. Now look here, that was just a bride It was wanted. So when I want a bride, I give the qualifications of the boy. When I want a groom, I give the qualifications of the girl. Okay, right? Now look at this here. Now, a compatible match. Groom wanted, yes, so draft an advertisement in about 50 words for matrimonial columns of Times of India newspaper. It is for an educated Punjabi Khatri girl. Okay, and invent relevant details. So what is it? Groom wanted. Compatible match for a very pretty, sharp featured 26-165 convent educated Punjabi Khatri girl, wheatish color, doing her own manufacturing business of dress and design. So here what has been described: the girl's age, her qualifications, her studies, what is it that she is doing. Okay, so family well established, multi-crore business, owns bungalow in Derawala Nagar, Delhi. So send biodata on this or facts or write to this. Okay, so just here it is. Once again, when we write advertisements, we don't add too much of detail, we don't write too many lengthy sentences, and relevant required information, okay, which is there. And once again here, just remember the kind of questions that you are going to get for your writing skills. You are going to get fill in the blanks. So you should know what comes where. So you have to be very, very particular about all that. Yes, is this clear? Is this clear? If you want me to, I can send you a few examples also, okay? Right, for your practice. So I'll just share a few more examples with you. I'll send it in the group. So look at this one. Now look at the next question here. So you're looking for a suitable match for your sister. Write the particulars of the girls and ask for the particular of the prospective bridegroom. So it should be a suitable entry in the matrimonial columns of a newspaper. So matrimonial columns of the newspaper here. Just see, for your sister you're writing. So engineer, doctor, or executive match from a decent family for a beautiful, slim, charming, and attractive featured girl belonging to Punjabi Malik and valued family, right? So she is 23, 179 centimeter, working as a lecturer in Delhi University, drawing a salary of rupees 20. It's not been mentioned, right? What, 20,000? Father is in government service, drawing salary in 5 figures, owns his own house in Kamla Nagar, early decent marriage. Please contact postbox. Now see here, like we are there, writing these advertisements, but let's just see. The question would be given to you. Once again, fill in the blanks kind of question would be there for your writing skills, as you have done earlier also for your tests. Also, you can get regarding the format, and you can get these kinds of questions. Okay, so complete the blanks. Now here, yes, so what is there? Look, first of all, how do we start? We start with the description about the age, about qualifications, right? We give, like here about her, then we talk about her family also, right? And please here, right, although this is very simple for you all, everything will be given. When we are writing, I think so we should, break certain things which are happening. Let's not be so stereotyped and all. So why is it that the girl always has to be beautiful and slim and convent educated, right? Why can't we break all these, stereotypical approaches that we have? Okay, so there are many more parameters of assessing a person's beauty, right? So it's not only all this. So we would not like to have our daughters, objectified. So let's, we have spent so much on their education to make them confident, to make them brave enough to face the world, and yes, to be there independent enough to work, to earn their own salary, and yes, to move around in the world with their head held high. So let us not bring them down, like here. This is one thing here. When you look at the advertisement and, so you just read it, we get an idea what is it that people think. We understand the mentality of the people. So this one advertisement, it is not only that, it is here, yes, what is, we've made it a market, we have turned everything into a commodity. That yes, so we have these things that fit your requirements, and fine. So otherwise, earlier it was just a way of advertising, and maybe, yeah, nowadays here with social networking, everyone is very well connected. So there are ways here. So earlier the newspaper was a very reliable source or a reliable means of finding a suitable alliance. right? And especially when people are not in touch with their family or with the region or with the culture. So, right, so maybe to find someone from a similar background. So let us see here, let us avoid all these stereotyped cliches and all these stereotypes things here. Okay, fine. So what is it here? Now let us look at a few more advertisements. I just want you to just go through the content here. I want you to. Oh my God, someone's using very big words today. Yes, exactly. Just Dev, right? So these stereotypes, they are there in our society. We are perpetuating them. Absolutely true. See, look at it over here. We are continuing all these. So why are we not happy with our child, yes, being too thin or being a little heavy? Why are we so uncomfortable with that? Why? I think so. Our comfort should lie in, yes, seeing our children happy. We're not here to make the world happy. But considering this whole matrimony business, it seems as if we are more concerned about making our society, our neighborhood, everybody more happy than rather the people who matter the most. Isn't it? Right? Although you people still have a long way to go, but you know what here? Yes, once we start busting these stereotypes at an early age, at the initial stage, then we will definitely make a difference. Okay, right. So here it is here. Yeah. So this is one thing, like, yeah, you just look at the advertisements and you will find out, right? Yes. So, right. So write a suitable matrimonial column for publication in a newspaper for a suitable match for your son. So these are there. I think so. This one we have discussed earlier also, isn't it? Right? Yes. So this one for a groom wanted. So groom wanted heading would be, when we talk about the groom wanted heading, come on, from your examination point of view, what is it that you need to remember? When I give the groom wanted heading, right? So you can write groom required also, alliances, invited. So you can give that a kind of a heading also. Although this sounds like very, oh my God, too deadly, right? But this is the way it is. Okay, so for groom wanting, what are we going to give? We're going to give the particulars of the girl, right? So we are there because we're going to tell that this is our daughter, this is my sister, this is my cousin, these are her qualifications, this is what she does, and yes, about her family, and right, so we have to mention here, right? Yes, so especially in our society where caste plays a very predominant thing, and we really have that. So this is one medium where we can bring about the change. So maybe breaking these stereotype thinking here, breaking the caste barrier, and yes, so just telling that no dowry. Okay, so dowry seekers, please excuse, right? So these are here little things over here which we need to. Okay, and here, yes, so we have these three examples that we have done, and I am now going to share with you a few more things. That is, yes, absolutely here, right? Okay, fine. Anybody else would like to say something about the things that we have perpetuated in our society? No. So let's continue here, and I just want to discuss the questions here, or the ending of the chapter, enemy. So what happened in the ending of the chapter? Can anybody just tell me? Right? So just quickly, the general was supposed to kill the white man, but he did not do that. He was very busy with his own health. He was very busy with himself only, that he forgot, or rather maybe he purposely didn't do that. Now let's just look at these questions here, and then we'll just get a clearer idea of what it is about. So yes, Dr. Sadao, the first question we had done, Dr. Sadao was compelled by his duty as a doctor to help the enemy soldier. What made Hana, his wife, sympathetic to him in the face of open defiance from the domestic staff? Akriti, please send me the attendance, and I'll set everybody here right today that even if online classes are there, you cannot attend. Right? So just 50% of the class is there. This is no excuse for skipping your classes. So yes, so what was there that made Hannah do this duty? Because she realized that her husband was not doing anything wrong, and he was doing his duty as a doctor, as a good human being, as a, like a good citizen, right? Although yes, maybe as a citizen many people might question that how can you give shelter to the enemy when things are so, like bad here, so we are at war. But once again, yes, what is the value that we have learned from this chapter? It's about humanity. It's about understanding that across borders, across all these barriers, across caste, creed, religion, we all are human beings and we need to respect that. And yes, here we really, really need to understand all this. So let us just stop spreading hatred, and let us stop, once again, stereotypes and prejudice. Let's come out of those. Now, how do you explain the reluctance of the soldier to leave the shelter of the doctor's home, even when he knew he couldn't stay there without risk to the doctor and himself? Now, when Dr. Sadao tells the soldier that he is better now, he's on his feet, he's much stronger, and he can walk. So he said that I can't keep you here any longer. It is better that you leave this place now, right? That you have to move away from here. And the soldier does not want to leave that place because he feels safe over here. That even these two are Japanese, but they're very different from the other Japanese. That was because of their exposure to the Americans, because of their studies there, because of their way of thinking, right? So it's not necessarily that you go to America that automatically you become a broad-minded person. It differs from person to person. So people living there also might be very stereotyped or very prejudiced. Okay. So here, why? Because he felt very safe. He knew that the doctor saved his life. So he was there almost half dead, and the doctor did surgery on him, removed his bullet, took care of him, and he was quite sure this man will not kill him. This man will not let him die. So it was that the safest place that he felt was at Dr. Sadao's home. He did not want to go out once again. What was the final solution that Sadao thought? What was the final solution? Yes, what did Sadao think would be the safest way? Come on, let me hear your answers. That was to send this man away. And I told you yesterday, what were the things that he did? He arranged a boat for him, a blanket, and right. So, like he told him about the food that he had to eat. And he gave him instructions, the thing that he was supposed to do, and the things that he was not supposed to do. So one day in the evening, he just sent him away when it was almost dusk, and he knew nobody would be around on the coast. So that was when he sent him away, and he told him that when he reaches the island, just before the sun sets and before it is completely dark, he's supposed to flash his torchlight, give him the signal that he has reached. Okay, and yes, so he has reached over there, and then he would inform or rather come to know that the person is safe. And he specifically told him which boat should he wait for, which ship should he wait for, the Korean one. So not a Japanese one. Once again, he would be in trouble. So, right. So in the Korean ship, he would go, and he was not supposed to light any fire. And if his food ran out, what was he supposed to survive on? That is, he would have to survive on, the seawater and the fish that he could catch from there. Nothing more, right? So, and he would have to have it raw only, because lighting a fire would create smoke, and that might attract attention. Once again, putting his life in danger. So yes, so 1 or 2 days he did see the flashlight, and the man was still there. But then one evening he did not see that flashlight. He did not see that light. Then he realized that the man has gone away to safety. Okay. And as a man goes away and he's looking out far towards the islands, he just keeps on sitting and thinking that, why did I let this man go? Right? So when he thinks about his experience in America, he thinks about all the people he met over there, how he did not like many of them, even though in his times of distress, some of them were quite helpful, kind, his landlady, right? But even then he feels that no, they were not very nice to him. He did not have such a pleasant experience. So he could have reciprocated the same. He could have been the same, being unkind, and could have let this person die. But he saved his life, not once, but twice. Okay. And of course, it shows that Dr. Sadao, he was no way a traitor. He was a very faithful person. He was a very loyal person. He was a true patriot. But above all, which is very, very important, he was a good human being. Okay, right. So yes, so let's come to this next question, which is very, very important. And these questions here, yes, you have to go through them because you are going to get your thinking based questions and understanding based questions. Okay. How would you explain the reluctance of the soldier to leave the shelter of the doctor's home, even when he knew he couldn't stay there? So we've discussed this. What explains the attitude of the general in the matter of the enemy? Yes, who was the general? Why was the general so important in the story? And it was because of the general's condition that Dr. Sadao could not, or he was not sent away with the troops because he was working on a discovery which would make the wounds heal easily, isn't it? Right? And that is why he did not go. And the general, when do we know about him? In the first time of the story, right? We talk about him, being welcomed everywhere victoriously when he has conquered the enemy troops. And we've also read about that how people suspect that he was involved in domestic violence also at home. And when Sadao, or rather Hana, notices the scratch marks, the red marks on the young, white man's neck, so she's very afraid and wonders, are all these rumors true, right? Then second, we hear about the general when the messenger comes and Sadao has to go. He's not well, and so he is, required a surgery, and it was that Sadao reached on time. He was able to save his life. So we come across a general as someone very self-centered, someone who is concerned about his health only. So he can, use his power, he can use his influence to stop someone from serving the country also, right? So in times of need. So he did not send Sadao there. And what we learn about, and he says that, fine, I'll send the assassins and they will kill the soldier. But he forgets. Does he really forget? Or was he just pretending or delaying this, that if a man has been saved, why to take his life, right? Or it was that he had enough faith in Sadao that Sadao would never ever do anything wrong, and Sadao was wise enough to take the correct decision for the welfare of his family, for the welfare of his country, for all the people who were concerned with him or connected with him. Okay. Now here, what is about the attitude of the general? Was it human consideration? So his behavior towards the enemy, was it because he was very considerate, he understood the Americans and he was not cruel towards them? No, 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 not at all. He was not a very kind-hearted person. He was quite ruthless, right? And the Japanese known for their torture and for towards the enemy. So it could not be that. Was it lack of national loyalty? So Sadao was as loyal as a general. The general also there, right? Yes, performing his duty well and understanding what is right and what is wrong. Was it dereliction of duty? Was he not doing his duty well as a general? He's supposed to, capture the enemy, imprison that young boy. Then why did he behave like this? Simply self-absorption. Okay, so if you have to choose the correct answer, it would be that the man was so absorbed in himself. He was concerned about his surgery, he was concerned about his health, that he did not think of anything else, right? So although yes, he says that, yeah, I do remember that the man you told me, and I was supposed to send my assassins and all, but he kept on delaying it. He didn't send his assassins. Okay, right. Yes, now look at the next one here, the next question. That is, while hatred against a member of the enemy race is justifiable, especially during wartime, what makes a human being rise above narrow prejudices? During the wartime, it is justifiable. It is, yeah, okay, he's the enemy. We should not let him survive. We're not going to help that person. And the face of the enemy, who becomes the face of the enemy? Are they actually the people who are they propagating that fear or the hatred? Or is it sometimes we have the soldiers who are doing their duty, right? They've been asked to on the behalf of the government they're representing. So they become the face of the enemy. So we start thinking that all these soldiers are our enemy. Okay. Now here, what makes a human being rise above narrow prejudices? Can anybody give me the answer? What makes a human being rise above prejudices? Yes, Bhavneet? Akriti here? What do you say? What makes a human being rise above narrow prejudices? What makes us, like so strong and way above all the other people? Yes, yes, yes. So knowledge, awareness, absolutely. Our education, that is what makes us think. But sometimes, we are there at such a critical moment, or we are at such a situation that we're not able to think straight, right? And we're not able to decide to do what is right and wrong. And it is these moments here that can create a lot of problems, that can create a lot of hatred, which can be avoided. So as human beings, and especially during these very critical situations, when we talk about mob violence, we talk about communal riots, we talk about wars. So at that time, understanding that, see, it is like these people are doing their duty, and if need arises, if we have to help them in some way or the other on the basis of humanitarian grounds, let us try to do that, so we can overcome all these prejudices. We can overcome, no, it's not a dilemma, I'm not talking about a dilemma here, but it is not exactly here, right? It is sometimes in that confusion, mob mentality, mob violence. What happens? People don't think straight at that time. When a group is they're collectively charging and they're coming, like a force, so at the time, people just cannot decide what is right and what is wrong. They easily given to the demands of those people, easily listen to what these people want, right? But here it does take a lot of awareness, it takes a lot of courage to stand up for what is right. And yes, yeah. So what the next question is, do you think the doctor's final solution to the problem was the best possible one in the circumstances? Was it the best possible one? What did the doctor do? The final solution was sending the soldier away to an island, right? And where he could be safe, he could be away from Dr. Sadaw's house, and where in due course of time, he would definitely get help. Okay, right. So we do think in the possible circumstances, that was the best solution that he did. So does the story remind you of birth? Do you remember the story of birth? What was it about? Yes, so what did that young doctor do?